Oh, there we are. Oh, I think everything is so bluey looking. so, but this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. This is your host, Big Pontiac, the Time Walker. This is too much. I don't know. I know I can go with it all for a minute. Okay, yeah, I'll do that for a minute. And I haven't been on, haven't done any weekly picks or results, and so I'm just gonna come on and give some results. That's pretty much it. I don't know how long I'm gonna feel like rambling. But I will ramble a little bit about the season, how the season has ended. Um, it's interesting if you go back to weather games, like weather games, and we saw a weather game. Now, if those that you remember, one of the worst weather games was the game with the Eagles and the Bears, and the Eagles definitely had the better team. I want to say Chris Carter was on that team, where they literally on Soldier Field played a game in the fog. I mean, the game, you couldn't televise it because the only thing you could see is just the fog. You couldn't see. Like on the field, it's almost like you can see each other, but it's almost like a ghost thing. It's like what's around you is thicker kind of behind you than what you're seeing if you kind of can follow. I mean, it was impossible to televise unless you was field level. And this fog was like it covered the whole stadium. It was so thick coming off Lake Michigan. Now, was it artificial? Very much so, because the Bears really didn't have the better team. The Eagles had the better team. And it was like decent weather other than the fog came in. I'm surprised they didn't cancel the game. So it's not unusual to have bad weather. And we know the two kicks the dude did from New England, when the Raiders and the fumble. Remember, he got popped. Or, yeah, remember the kicker, had two chances to kick with a snowstorm and money, both kicks. The kick to tie and the kick to win. Money, both kicks. And I mean snowstorm just as much as what we just saw. If y'all remember his kicks, whatever his name, that kicker, you can look it up. I can't remember his name. Hey, Lobo, what's happening? But if you remember that kicker, money, and he ended up winning. I think he got two Super Bowl winning kicks. That kicker. So weather is, it's not unusual. It reminds me even. You can go back to I think it was the Steve Van Buren times, maybe the '46 Bears. No, excuse me, 46 Eagles. I think 45, 46. And it had a snowstorm in Philly and Steve Van Buren. Check him out. Tell me if he don't look like a brother. And they let him play. And like I've been studying about Fritz Pollard, and Fritz Pollard almost like started the National Football League in a way too. And we know Jim Thorpe helped start the National Football League. That can't be debated. And he was probably one of the main attractions to the National Football League was Jim Thorpe. That's why he was their first president. And he played and had a team. So brothers having no part to do with running teams. I mean, it's and then to cut off players at a certain point, and then you see Steve Van Buren, and you see they let him play, and you study who he is, and it's just funny how they would cut off certain people and let others. But yeah, so the weather and the kicks was money kicks. So that was one cool thing. Um, I think now Lobo had brought it up. I think the script was really good for the snow game. I think that was a better script of the two games. And I picked you know my little pad here. I picked the teams. That was my picks. So and I'm away for the Super Bowl. But And so now, that you saw that thing about with Knicks, the Knicks had been hurt, and the coach pushing that narrative that he had been hurt was kind of bogus. I thought, to bring that up, dude that went out there and because like I've said before, when I played, I had got cleated on my Achilles, and the year before, and they showed this in North Dallas 40. They show where dude was having hamstring problems, and they were showing another dude, Pete Gent's character, get shot up with where to numb you. And the dude told him, because they was gonna shoot his hamstring. He told him, you can't. He says, man, I can't feel it. And in the movie, dude tears his hamstring after wearing that thing. And me, I was able to play, you know, after taking a shot and watching somebody else get a shot too. So you can play on injury. I mean, don't think you can't. It's very common. It's very common to play with injury. So, I mean, I went from um, getting cleated on what Thursday, yeah, I got cleated on Wednesday, Tuesday evening practice, a week before, like the Tuesday before our first game. I got cleated. I mean, cleated. My shit was black and blue. And the next day, we were supposed to be at practice early at 6. Couldn't even walk. I mean, it took me 45 minutes. Took me the time to walk down there, then the practice was over. That's how long it just took me to walk down there because I was hurt. And I still had to walk to practice. And that's how long it took me to walk down there. And then they took me to the hospital. and still played that weekend, So it's not uncommon for people to play hurt. And so it was good entertainment. The one call where with the DB, was it a catch or no catch? I think the rule is you got to play through the catch. Um, that's what it is when the play's over. I think the ball is live for either team. And we saw plays where on purpose plays. I mean that's just something to expect. You know, missing tackle. Like I watched. Who did I watch? I watched the old. Gosh, oh man, I think it may have been local dudes. Yeah, it was Marion Barber. I think the third. Yeah, young Marion. The guy passed a few years ago. I saw some highlights of him, and in one of his long runs, because he used to play for the Gophers. It was him and some other cat. We saw a dude do the TV tackle. It's like a dude was chasing him, and then the dude dove, like the TV tackle we see. And so, uh, these are things that they have been doing forever. Tricks that they've been always doing to us. And tricks of entertainment. Like last night, the Timberwolves was a good game. I kind of wish I'd went last night. I really do. Yeah, that was at home last night. I kind of wish I'd went to the game. I probably could have got tickets. Ain't been that hard to get for them. And the weather, the weather and the big thing in downtown is all that, all the strife is downtown. Now where the Target Center is and all the protesting and stuff, they're not near that, especially the federal building is not as near, but the downtown and what happened to the young man, the young man, is not terribly far from each other. It's on different sides of town. Now, I will say that. Target Center is downtown, and downtown is definitely like really considered northern. It's like the start of the north side. Downtown really is. It's the start of the north side. Because the north side, where all the melanated folks live, is downtown, but behind the neighborhoods behind downtown, rolling northwest, but rolling north. If you follow just the way land patterns go. But so that's the other problem is, do you want to go down there? Because it's I mean, granted, you can park on the street in some conditions, but mostly it's parking in ramps too, and they keep motherfuckers off the ramps. So, but that's everything to consider, if you want to go to a game around here. So, um, and let me see, I'm not gonna go terribly long. Okay. Uh, but yeah, the Timberwolves game was talking about entertainment. It was an entertaining game. That's why I was just, going to the game. It was very entertaining. I thought they let him play good defense on him. Um, Again, they let Ant go off. Ant is, but McDaniels though too. McDaniels too. His steal where they did the steal and McDaniels just like dunked on somebody was a good. I mean, he is really like this dude. This cat. What they drafted that cat? That cat was 6'7". When they drafted McDaniels, he was 6'7". He like what 6'10", 6'10 and a half, something like that now. 6'11". You know, drafted him. He was 6'7". This cat grew. And so they're playing. Hey, Lauren, what's happening? Thank you. Lorenzo. Oh yeah, Lorenzo. What's happening, Lorenzo? Good to see you. What's the weather like down there, man? What is the weather like down there? And I hope y'all safe, because up here it's just been cold. Like it's cold up here. Today, we went out. We went out. We went out to dinner. Just had a quick little soul food dinner. Um, and it ain't been brutal, but I tell you, yesterday morning I had to take my daughter to the 2 mornings in a row. I had to take my daughter to a doctor's appointment, and we had to be there at 7, so super early. So we go to first appointment. It was a short appointment. Next day we had to pretty much do the same thing, and that next morning, which would have been Wednesday, yeah, it was that real cold. That was like the third or fourth coldest day I'd ever, you know, yeah, and no, but I was more prepared because I wear, like, today's the first day I went out without wearing lined pants. I got 3 pair of pants that's like lined. I got a couple pair of Carhartts that's lined, and then a pair of Coleman's that's like lined pants. And it was cold. I mean, it really, but yeah. So I was more prepared. Uh, but it was really cold outside. I go outside, smoke a joint and shit too, and it's cold. It ain't no coat or even taking out the trash. If it's extra on trash day to run out there, it's none of that anymore. It's none of that. It's straight put on the coat when you go outside kind of days. But today was more pleasant. But it's funny, like I left the gym last night and it was like, oh, okay, you know. And last night playing pickleball was really cool. Play with a young guy. He's been coming and he improved. He's played a little more. And it was kind of cool seeing young person play with the men. I mean, that's the way I grew up hooping, was playing against men. And a game like pickleball. And we just had, I don't know if y'all like caught it. Like I have a YouTube TV and it had the pickleball championship. I don't know if y'all hip to that. It had the indoor championships here last week and last weekend. It was the 19th through the 25th, and it was the best pickleball players in America, every age group. What I mostly saw was mixed doubles. Um, didn't see the men doubles. No, no, I did not. I did not see the men doubles, but I saw the mixed doubles. I saw the singles. Yeah, and I saw the women, the double women too. So, but did not see the men doubles. Did not see that. Did not see that. I watched this one dude, man. This dude had the longest arms, and it's funny, like what I like when I play with someone. Like I have a friend that he had a stroke years ago, so he's a little slower cat. And sometimes when I play with him, I pick it up a little bit, as much as I can do, to kind of, and that's what it would have been the men and women play. The men pick it up, what the woman does. Let me see. We've been having ice on the roofs in the morning, but it would warm up by lunchtime. The high be upper 50s. Oh, okay. Oh, that ain't too bad then. Yeah, because it like one night it was minus 22. And I might have been on since that was on, but it was minus 22. And then the other morning when I went in, it was I think minus 12 Wednesday. It was cold. It was cold. It was cold. When I went to pickleball, I park in handicap, so I'm, it's short run in, but it was chilly. It was really chilly. So it's been chilly up here. Like you go out, wear everything. You go in. My daughter doesn't, but because children are so used to driving and going to houses, I'm where that, and that's a phenomenon. Children do not like wearing coats. Like my sons now, they're older, they wear coats, but when they was boys, would not wear a coat, wear shit. Not really. Jackets more than coats. You know, my youngest son is like my ex-wife's dad. This dude walked to work every morning because he was a cook. Family ran a restaurant, so he just walked to work, just like one of his workouts. Smoke a joint, walk to work, no matter the weather. I only saw him wear a coat one time. We had a little storm, and he walked to work with that coat on. But most of the time, he wouldn't wear the coat too. So, but my daughter and my sons at the same age, they wouldn't wear coats. Just wouldn't. So I don't know, and I see that seems to be a thing now, but not me. I wear a coat everywhere I go. But yeah, so it's funny. The Vikings fired their general manager, that brother. They fired him, And I talked about it many times before. I talked about the people they had, and I talked about. I said last year, really, I said Jones would have been the one I thought to keep. Um, Now Donaldson, he had bad games the last three games that really mattered. He had bad games, but with those bad games became injuries and stuff too. That was reality. I mean, that last game, what did he get sacked? You remember that? So, but having Jones in camp, Donald's in camp, and you gambled on the wrong thing and had no backup. And they offered Donaldson the same money, really. When it came down to the money, they offered him the same money, but they wouldn't offer him the guarantee to start. That's what it came down to. They'd offer him the exact same money, but they wouldn't guarantee him to start. That's why he walked. That's why he walked. And where was they hurting? It's hurting on offense, hurting the quarterback this year. It's hurting bad. End of the year had the one dude from that played for the Gophers. So I see why they got rid of him. I mean, yeah, yeah. And I said, we can go back, watch old videos years or so ago. That Jones, I thought, was the one to get the money to. I thought it was Jones. With this team, I really thought it was Jones. And even if we go last year, when I would say about Donaldson, I was very hard on him too, because he did play three bad games, and the last game he got sacked, I think, 8 or 9 times. So you can't really say that was really him. And sometimes, you just have some bad games in a row. And again, we know they do the script like that too. Hey, Jamar, thank you for coming in. And we know the script is set up like that as well. So, uh, but Jones was the one I would have put money on, and they blew it. But to not sign two of them, one of the two, and to rely heavily on a player that was injured, very unproven, when really given like really, he was just given a few plays and got hurt in the pros. Really kind of doing too much, and we always have that where they get hurt on purpose or don't get hurt on purpose too. We see that kind of thing too. So, but still, to not sign one of those guys, major mistake. And Carson Wentz. And remember, like we was talking about injury, that Carson Wentz was playing with a damn near left separated shoulder when he finally got knocked out, getting tackled all the time. So, you know, so they blew it, and so he's rightly let go. He was rightly let go. I haven't really been doing the watch, the Grammy watch, but let me see if I can. Yeah, right here. This is definitely one for the Grammys. See if I can get it to stop. Get the commercial out of the way. Mm, okay. Maybe I still might have to play display capture. She died. Remember, she was the Home Alone lady, Catherine O'Hara. Now, Home Alone, series is probably what made her a star. But I was just telling my wife about this lady. This lady came from a group called Second City TV, SCTV. They were part of the Second City group that was Canadians that played in Second City in Chicago. This was the group of Canadians that came out of Canada to go play at Second City in Chicago with Belushi and them, Dan Aykroyd and all them. And so they would play those little things. And like, if you look up SCTV and see how um, um, simplistic it is. I think it was shot with public television, it looks like, and very simplistic. And to think from that simple show, it looks like they have a warehouse and they're shooting, they build sets and they're shooting everything from this small warehouse. So look up SCTV. But she's Home Alone, Beetlejuice, lately fame. But we definitely could tie this into the Grammys. We can definitely tie this into the Grammys. You know. But more props for her in the group. I mean, John Candy, um, 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 what's the dude from American Pie? Gene Levy. He was another one. Uh, the dude, um, the dude from Honey I Shrunk the Kids. That guy. Can't think of his name, but he did Honey I Shrunk the Kids. That dude was part of them. The dude from the Three Amigos, Martin Short. Martin Short was a part of them. All these people was connected to her. But pretty much we can look at hers, and if you want to watch the breakdown of the numbers, I don't. Zach is the man for that. I'm sure Zach got an opinion about that. So, but I saw that, and like I said, I haven't been keeping um, a big watch, but definitely been keeping to see athletes. Now I haven't really researched today, but we started from Monday. So any deaths, what's that, the 20th? So any deaths, athletes that we see, um, I'll tie this one to the Grammys though. I'll definitely tie her to the Grammys. I'm not gonna tie her to um oh, okay, here's one that's probably coming. Who is this? Who is this? Is this a Jerry Lou Holtz? Ah, right. Says right here, Lou Holtz is put in hospice. Now, Lou Holtz coached the University of Minnesota, and not only did he coach the University of Minnesota, he coached my friend's brother, Perry Foggy. And I want to say one of my other teammates played for him in Arkansas. So another connection I kind of had to Lou Holtz. He played with him when Lou Holtz was at Arkansas. And Lou Holtz, of course, won the championship with Tony Rice. Um, 88, I think, when they won the championship. Yeah. And Lou Holtz, I think, coached the Jets and the Patriots, at least the Jets. He didn't last very long in the NFL. But this cat. So if they say, as Brother Sly says on the clock, Lou Holtz is in hospice. And he's in his 90s, is what it showed. He was 90, coach. Yeah, for 9 years there. But a bunch of other schools. And yeah, he was broadcaster. But he's old. But so, um, real coach. Real coach. I liked him when he was at Notre Dame. And, being in Michigan at the time, I grew up in the area. Where my stepfather's family's from is down there by South Bend. Um, you're right on the border. And where I was a cop one time was down there, right on the border of Indiana and Michigan, right but near Niles. Actually, part of Indiana ran right into the little town I was working at. So, yeah. I'm sorry. Last week I had the flu. I am better now. I'm so glad that I got over it. And before the cold front, we about to have, yeah, here it's going to get a little nicer. Yeah. Enjoy the butt whooping y'all gave the Thunder last night. Yeah, they put it on them. Yeah, I watched all that game. They put it on them. It's probably a game on now. Yeah, it's a game on. It's probably a game on now. Uh, Catherine O'Hara, was she his mama? Who? Wirtz had a bad rep in the locker room too. Yeah, especially when he was first with the Eagles. That was the problem before he got hurt. And his injury was questionable too. I mean, yeah, he took unnecessary hits also. Like the worst two dudes that they really beat down was and they hurt really on purpose is RG3 was definitely hurt on purpose. One video I hate that when they took my other channel showed when they hurt Cam Newton on purpose and they destroyed his shoulder. Really was never the same passer after they hurt him. And I think it was TJ Watts that hit him unnecessarily, went for his shoulder. They hurt people on purpose too. I mean, they definitely do. Uh, um, Again, going back to the movie North Dallas 40, the old block that the old engage and then go for your legs. One dude get you high and the other dude cut your legs across from you. You know how many people like buckets? That's how they got buckets. And they show that in North Dallas 40 how they would do people. Dude wouldn't even know. Be going hard and then boom, somebody slicing your leg, tear your leg up. It's snowing in Eastern Tennessee. Oh wow, wow. Uh, yeah, Kevin's mom, right? Yeah, Kevin's mom. But she was in she was the grandmother in Beetlejuice. She was in Beetlejuice too, both of them. But yeah, she was in SCTV, which is Second City, the Chicago group. They pretty much use the name, but and that's what all the Saturday Night Live people did. The producer went down there and saw those cats. That's what all of them was doing. They was Second City Chicago stage play. That thing lasts. I mean, down there that was forever where they had the Second City people. I said before, my stepmother went to. I think Bellucci had taken some classes in Kalamazoo Western, and I think she said she had a couple classes with him. So it wasn't, uncommon. These people, Bellucci's from Chicago, so not uncommon to see these people. But the humor that came out of all that, and then from them to break away, they didn't go the Saturday Night Live route. They went their own route, and to put on this goofy program, to put on this. I mean, you got to watch some of this stuff. This stuff is hard to believe. It looks like some YouTube put together shit. How it would be perceived now. But YouTubers put some shit together. But that's how, and that's the humor in it too. That's the humor in all of it too. Is the way it's put together. But I was just thinking, Mike, what was his name? Oh man, what they were doing? Excellent, excellent, totally. Remember them dudes, those characters? Remember that those two characters, Saturday Night Live, they took those from the dudes. There's a movie called Strange Brew. Those characters was SCTV characters first. And going back to watch this stuff, to see this stuff as a child and find the humor of it then, and then looking at it like 45, 46 years later, and seeing how elementary was, and yet I still never forgot about it. I never forgot about it. And for them to turn what all their talent. To turn all their talent into what they did is unbelievable in its own right. Given the easier route of Saturday Night Live. So um, to have amazing career, all that group though, all that whole group, to have amazing, and all of them, that much older than me. I'll be 65 this year, and it's funny, I look back and realizing that of my group, I was actually one of the younger ones. My daughter always complains that she's one of the younger ones, but I was kind of too. When you have summer birthdays, you're kind of younger than everybody. Really, you really are. You're really younger than everybody, and that was it. Like one of my best friends, I mean, he has a January birthday. My birthday until June. Then I have some friends that was born in late '60 that grew, same grade, grew up together, but they was born in 1960. So it's interesting, my generation, and really being the seniors, really being the seniors, and it's funny, like everything in the air now. It's a lot in the air now, a lot in the air, and I'll say this much, I live near a gun range, and it's packed every night, like really seriously packed all day long now. It's quite interesting that people just zero in this stuff, and that place is super packed. And I know what kind of place and the people run it is. So it's interesting that group is like together. And so um and the recent decisions, of the feds, their recent decisions, saying that they're pulling back for things. Well, we'll see. I don't think I think it's overstated that saying that people are paid to go out there in the freezing. I mean, because when they was out there, it was some of the coldest times, really, really like brutally cold. Some days that people was out there, it was really cold. I mean, it's been a winter. Like the last two winters was really nothing. Just no, but this winter, 3 years ago was we had a lot more snow, but this time, I mean, this has been a real winter. And this big storm that went across, we really only got it. We had one really snowy day, but the storm we really only got it as cold, like really cold. That's how we got it. This part of the country, not very much snow. No, we already have, but probably this year, I bet we've had. I probably could check, but we probably had maybe 45, 50 inches of snow, maybe. I don't quite know if it's that much, but maybe that much. Not sure if we've had quite that much snow, but probably close to that much. I mean, it's and it's blowing so much, but it's like where the snow is all frozen in place, but it's like the side of my house, that patch is like open. And so in back of me, I looked a few years ago, we had a lot more snow. It's not as high and as much snow, but it's out there and it's pretty hard. And it's like I put bird feed out, but I put it on one of my plants that died, and so I first put it in my bird feeder, and the squirrels went out, and I don't care, it's like it's been so cold that I put food out for whoever can come get it. If the birds don't come, scared to come close to the house, that's okay. And the squirrels come to the house, that's okay too. I don't discriminate which wild animal wants to have some of this bird feed. I don't care, it's like whichever one. And it entertains my cats. So anyway, I put it in the birdhouse, and the birdhouse shuts on top, but the bottoms is open, more conducive to a bird if the bird was perched and can peck at it. Well, for the squirrels, they can just swat at it so much. So the squirrels turned it upside down and made it pour out, which was kind of interesting that they did that. I mean, these squirrels literally turned this thing upside down and got all the bird feed out that way. I was like, that's genius. Oh, I tell you that down here in Mississippi, we had snow around this time last year. Oh, okay. You did, yeah. See, we really did. Not last year. Not last year in 25 January we didn't. So we didn't have that much last year. But we got it in the cold. In the cold. It's like that I think last time I came on, it was a day where it was just brutally when I went to play pickleball. It was like so cold that I couldn't, get in the car quick enough to turn the car on. The other morning, getting in the car wasn't that bad with the garage door down, of course. And I don't really like. It was a thing. I still got the key to automatic start my stuff, but I just like, I don't know. I've always heard those wasn't great for cars, so I don't do that. And plus, it's never below like 25 in my garage. It's about usually 25, because it's some heat coming off the house to the garage. But no, something you should do all year is warm your car up for sure. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but a lot of people, don't want to be in it. But you can go out there and start or automatic start, however you want to do it. But you should warm your car. No, that's a real thing. Even when I just jump in my car, I let it warm. I may back it out of the garage just to be out the fumes, but then I sit there. And you should all do that, especially in the cold weather. Watching people, trying because when it gets this cold stuff, them electric cars don't quite work the same. They work a little slower. It burns more energy, like the super cold minus stuff. It affects them differently. It burns their energy quicker. They don't like, I think, the overly hot, but they definitely don't like the cold. They don't really function as well in the cold. So I wasn't gonna go on too long. My daughter's here, and my wife down there. We'll spend some time together. Cool day tomorrow. Playing. Oh, I was just talking about the Nationals here. We're going to play tomorrow at where they just had the Nationals last week. So it's Lakeville. It's another Lifetime, and the girls got the game. I think for we got two courts, so we got 8 players, and we'll just play each other back and forth, which is cool. Which is cool. One of my knee braces broke, and I had to take it back to the hospital. They let me keep the broke one, but it's like they're hinged and old. But if you look at me, I'm still moving around, and it holds everything together. I mean, it hasn't really affected my mobility one way or another, and so it's kind of cool. And what you got to understand, and I played yesterday with this 13-year-old guy, and he plays with us men, and I mean, just the way it makes you think, it really makes you think. We got inches of it, but compared to what you get in Minnesota, it'd be light snow, but you couldn't tell us nothing down here. Yeah, I've been seeing though, people, in the ice storm. I got friends down in Memphis, and they showed they had an ice storm down in Memphis, and so she was showing her houses. The trees was falling. Near their houses, it was like, because that's one thing the tree can't handle. It can't handle ice. It unbalances the tree. It's too heavy from where it comes, and the way it's going to sag down, it becomes too heavy for trees. And it starts hitting the trees where the vulnerabilities are in the tree. And that leads to the tree collapsing. So, yeah. So, a lot of people, I think in Michigan, the area where I grew up, I think it was a 20-30 car accident on 131, I believe, one morning. And we had a storm that was so bad, Highway 35W, they completely had to shut it down. So, so you never know, guys. You never know. I was just glad it was just cold because I'll take cold over snow and storms anytime. So. Well, I think I'm gonna just signal off. It's too early to put in picks. I wasn't gonna go long. This is gonna be a short one. And plus, I'm gonna do the full moon thing on Sunday, so I'll get into a little longer on Sunday. This was just to kind of catch up on that I haven't really said anything about this week's. I'm not gonna really make my Super Bowl pick. I want another week like everybody else. Probably do it. I bet Lobo probably does his probably Thursday. Maybe before then, maybe after. I don't know. When I'm gonna do it, I'm out dependent. I don't be doing shit, but to come on and just talk and come off the cuff. So, which I don't, sometimes I don't mind doing either. That's okay too. But just to sit here too, sitting, being stagnant for a half hour ain't always the greatest. So I'm gonna sign off. Thank you guys for coming. Oh God, my goodness, let me show you. Um, got a copy of my birth certificate. No, I can show the numbers, but it's funny on there. It's got mom colored, dad colored, So that is that is the amazing kind of thing. So well, I'm gonna sign off, y'all. I'm gonna sign off. Thank you. I'm gonna be doing a definitely this Sunday evening is the first. It's a full moon coming in. I'm not sure when it peaks. But I like to bring in the one divineness and let her do her thing. It's been a few years since she let me do it, and I haven't got any objections. And if I ever do, I would pull it. But so far, she lets me show it. So we give that that full moon thing because I think it was good then, and it only seems to get better over time. The practice, and if you just again, and it's like you just what you have to understand, so many people are offering so many things. And as you see, I never monetize these kind of shows. I never monetize this show. Because I just, it's so many copyrights on doing this live. I monetize my sports content mostly, but never these, I never monetize these. Uh, so, my point is, I have no hidden meaning or message in doing these and even giving out the spiritual stuff and just advice in general. We all just try to do the best we can do at every level and pick up what we do. This thing on sports, I'm so joyful to see so many people have picked it up and still points it out because it's something that and this is understand they like that we point it out. That helps them that we point it out. I mean, really, we give them another angle. If you really look at the way they script it, we give a new angle because they know everything is under a microscope now. So they do like that we look at it like that. So that makes them prepare for the script in the way they want us to perceive it, really, because they think they know us so well. They can look at the things and things, the different things that the different triggers many of us have to make their things spread. Virus can spread visually too. What do you say? Word to word. Word to mouth. You know, and so it's all it's become really it's like almost a full ritual. And if you look at the way the awards are, like you even look at the Grammys, you look at the Grammys, Academy Awards, uh, you look at this, and this is like the showing the high ritual. And I've said every year, our biggest ritual comes at the beginning of the year. This is the biggest ritual, the Super Bowl. That's why they put the Grammys before it. But the Super Bowl is the biggest ritual of the year. You can tell what's coming through the Super Bowl. And so the way they script all this is we are, our words, our input is also considered by the big head man in the room. You got the big head man in the room that's got, like the creator of the Matrix got all the screens. And it's joyful to have so much work to do and so many decisions to make. It's like, but a human that could do that and not a machine. Human that can, a humanoid, probably, a humanoid type of thing that can process all of it. and then spit it back out and where it makes sense. And not only make sense, make money off it, make money off it too. Uh, yeah. Switching, putting the Apple back on. I hate banging watches. I do. I don't seem to bang this one as much, but I hate banging, especially automatic watches. I hate banging them. That's why I really don't like wearing them casually, wearing the stuff casually, banging into it. Even the rings, wearing them casually, dropping them on cost stuff, banging, banging them and stuff. Oh, there we are. So, um, yeah, I guess that's all I got. Again, the full moon is coming, so the energies is like uh 4 days before, 4 days after, when sun to be in the peak. So however you want to perceive that, it's a time of definitely a time of spiritual exchange, to say the least. That's what it's really called for. It's a time for you can tap into. No matter what the moon is and where it came from, it's still there's a connection to it too, because it is a type of rhythm, and so much that we do is like the ocean with the type of rhythm. And then, really, if you look at it, when they went into like even the rhythm of time, and as many different people have pointed out, how the trains, our time in America was definitely based on trains when real time meant something. I mean, other times, like you looked at when they fought in the wars, they again, learned the time to set by the sun and where they had to be in so far, the time when we're attacking, those kind of things. But when you're talking about intercontinental, and even the stagecoach, probably even started with the stagecoach and the Pony Express. These cats were riding horse to horse to horse to get, to get this mail through. So the exchange of the information, but again, the rhythm that we live on today. And as even so much as artificial, there's still a real part of the world that we can all still tap into. No matter what they do to us, no matter what, there's still a real that you can tap into. And once that you tap into that kind of thing, there's no fear. There's no fear. Because you know that whatever you are, you're part of what is the greater thing, and that you was chosen. Because you feel that, like, thank you, thank you. Thank you for, whatever this is. Thank you. And gratitude is, I think we really don't like share that enough. Now, one thing I've said before I love about pickleball is, like, pickleball relies, and I've said many times, it's the hero twins playing each other until they can't walk. When they get so old, they sit across in chairs and bounce the ball to each other in chairs. But that's what it is. It's the cooperation that you have to keep the game going. Even though somebody doesn't got you on the shot, you still got to go get the ball and throw it back to them and keep it moving. Just keep it moving. So, so the energy is whatever you want to tap into, and you can make it as bright as you can make it. You can make it as dark as you can make it. It's really your personal choice. And I'm not one that really gets into free will. I think that's a trick too. I really think that is. I think it's definitely a spell. It's a type of spell that's put out there. Um, because if you really look at it, it covers so many spectrums of thought that you have to look at it and be very skeptical because of where it's put. and the people that practice it are so varied from this main thought and how they both perceive it. So, but it's again, it's intention. You know, all this, even this moon thing, how you it's all your intention, and how are you bringing all this in? And it's like you know, music is in the vibrations because two mo like when I do sound baths, you know, you can see my singing bowl back there. And I have two other ones. And I got drums. I got a drum hanging up on the wall somewhere by me. There it is. There's my drum. I got another one on the floor behind me. But you know, vibration, sound baths, you know, raising your vibration. It's like the music is the same thing. Music is the same thing. It's really what you listen to. It's really what you listen to. And it's, you know, and that even goes to, you know, you keep in mind, like when you play video games, this what's playing in the background. If you can change it, you know, because it's what you listen to too. Um, and that's, you know, that's been the replay against rap is that, you know, we saw where it was definitely a illegal change to the music. Like, you know, I just been rocking some Jodeci, and I forget that Jodeci was with Uptown. And Jodeci, like, the music was tremendous, regardless of the rest of their story. That music was tremendous. I mean, I can really tell you, me and my boy Peanut, that what is my hustler in Detroit, Jay Peanutty, my boy Peanut and Peanutty. You know, Al Prophet shows. You know, we'd go to see him, and we would sing Jodeci going all the way down there. You know, that first, and probably had it on cassette, was so nice. But the love music, the high vibrational, you know, get on up. That movie where they sang, you know, Jodeci, got to get on up. Now, I mean, just the music is so high vibrational. And then you listen to some young people's music, and you know, where does the music trying to drive you? Do you really see the music is really trying to uplift you? Or is it just trying to keep, you know, keep a steady, like Saturnalian energy at you? And that's the thing, like when you get caught into certain beats and stuff, because really, like, I agree. I think, what is the Wu-Tang brother's name? I can't think of his name, but like, he was even saying one time, you know, the way that you like a song is in 4 or 5 seconds. The first 10 seconds is when you decide if you like a song, where it's decide if it's a hit or not. It's like as soon as it hits, you know, the way our brains are, you tell if you like it or not. Now, what's interesting, see again, like jazz, you could be fooled because jazz, you know, hits you in so many different ways. But when we just say, if say we just go into, you know, rap R&B up tempo song, it's pretty much the first 10 seconds is how you perceive it. Uh, oh, watch it. Oh, shoot, they got another girl up here. Oh, yeah, changing subjects. Yeah, they got another girl up here, man. What did she just get? Because it's a dude that he shows the hoops from around here, and it's a bunch of top talent up here again. But there was a young girl. God, what did she end up with? 60 some points. Because she had to set some record, and it was here. She just set some scoring record here. She needed 40, 45 points or 50 points. I forget. It was like she'd have gotten a couple games because it's still like the middle of the season. And you know, high school, if you make the playoffs, they playing damn near 20, what, 24 games? So, you know, everybody's playing over 20. You play over 20 games in high school. But if you know, you have a nice little run, you're going to play more than that. So, you know, everybody's playing over 20. You play over 20 games in high school. But if you, you know, you have a nice little run, you're going to play more than that. So, you know, everybody's playing over 20. You play over 20 games in high school. But if you, you know, you have a nice little run, you're going to play more than that. So, But yeah, so it's several. Gosh, I got to get that channel and show some of his videos because yeah, he peeps the young boys. Now, what got me Jalen? Oh, what is Jalen's name? Gosh, Jalen. Hmm, can't think of his last name, but he goes to St. Louis. No, St. Louis Park. Yeah, he does. I think. No, he goes to Hopkins. Yeah, I think he goes to Hopkins. Yeah, Jalen goes to Hopkins, I think. But anyway, they said when he was in eighth grade, he signed with Baylor, and that was before the NILs. And now I'm hearing he's going to North Dakota State, and he's still one of the top players in the state. But that he's going to North Dakota State, I just wonder how much bread North Dakota State is giving up to, you know, that's a big jump from eighth grade, get offered a scholarship at Baylor, and then all of a sudden you're going to North Dakota State. So I was kind of surprised to see that one. Gosh, well, I can't think of Jalen's name. But I saw it that that's what they said when they flashed. He flashed the team because they had a big game here too. So, and yeah, this is hoop wise for young people. My best friend, his daughter, she's playing at a local high school. She's freshman though, and having some ankle problems, some feet problems they trying to work through, but she'll play the next few years because already she's been playing freshman and JV. So, but she just had a few problems. So, um, very common, you know. All the running and girls, there's so many. Like when I refed, we found so many more girl games than the guys by 10 to 1. That was where the money was. Running the tournaments, the money was bringing the girls teams in. There's so many of them. We would like, the average boys would maybe be 4 games if they won the championship. It was girls playing 4 or 5 games because it was so many girls. They would make them do, a couple of levels up once the tournament hit, where they would, instead of just playing three, it would be, because yeah, where the guys would play giving three, yeah, man, maybe it's 5. But it just seemed like the playoffs for the dudes was a little different. They didn't get as many games in. Yeah, maybe 5-2, maybe 5-2. Now I think about it, but yeah, it was, the money was in the girls' games, so we did way more girls' games than we did. Um, Remember, I did Bill Cartwright's daughter. She played on one of the teams. Tony Kukoc's son told that story many times where he chasing me down the court. Stacy King, and then Jordan's boys. Uh, they was did brought one of the tournaments. Their uncle brought in the tournament. And I've said many times before, Larry went to A&T. Hoop with Larry and more Jim. I believe he was on my intramural team. I think. Forget how old Larry is compared to me. I'm like 2 or 3 years old, or 1 or 2 years older than Larry. I forget. So, but those was younger days. Now it's just pickleball. All right, I think I didn't push it to an hour, but yeah. So get in before my Super Bowl pick. Whenever Lobo gets his Super Bowl pick in, you know, and make a little money if you can. This is they hold the apple before the cart, where they trying to draw you in and draw you in with that bread, not just you watching the game and getting money like that, but actually draw you into bed. So yeah, I'll just go chill with my wife. But enjoy yourself. I hope everybody does. Take these off. Oh, looking at my face and they're just got my face all squashed up. But wow. I mean, in these trying times, I said one spark of going to Michigan is just speaking to brothers. Lately, that's what I've been trying to do, seeing brothers. And there's a couple times where, I probably should have spoke to brothers and I didn't, but I've really been trying to consciously just reconnect that, because um, that's the connection that used to always just naturally be there too. Like I know we did a breakdown of really the way we was psychologically taught that due to Black Power was just really a continuation of the Nazi salute, but it also did mean a type of unity amongst each other too. Now, also originally did it, when the Nazis did it, that showed loyalty as well. But the way I grew up, it was a really special type of loyalty that was a connection amongst melanated young people. be riding in them big 70s cars and do it to a teenager when you're a shorty, and the teenager hit you back with one, then when you see him from then on, hey, what's happening? You speak to him from then on, you know? I mean, that's just the connection we would have. Once, they acknowledged you, you just always had that connection. So when they saw you, they was like, hey, you just, from then on, you meet people, and especially older cats, and you just cool with the older cats. And what I really, do hate amongst the way living here in Minnesota that I didn't have in Michigan is, I had so many relatives where I lived, massive amount of relatives. We break down the family, and I mean just a massive amount of relatives. Knowing great uncles, great uncles. These people born in the 1800s, really knowing them. Not just memory, but really knowing them, know what they talked about, walked around with them, played with them, and they born in the 1800s in my life. You did? Because my great grandfather, I knew my great grandfather. He didn't die till I was about 20. He was born in I think 89. And I knew him in my lifetime, enough to spend the night at the house. So, family is just, it's almost can be a cohesive part. And it's just how you create it. And so it's like what you put out, you don't put out because you expect something back. You put out just to, you put it out, you don't expect it anything. That's the thing. It's like if you open the door for somebody, I don't care if they say, thank you or not. I ain't why I open the door for you. I open the door for you because I'm a human being. And it's to make your day just a little easier. I'll give you a courtesy of being polite. And we as a people, we pretty much like that. Just being polite. It's kind of like really the being the soulful being way. I mean, that's like if you really think about when they say that we created being cool, well, that's really our natural way of going. That ain't lazy. That's just we always move with nature. That's what people call being cool is you move with nature. No matter what the nature is, you move with the nature. That's what it is. You move with nature. That's being cool. And so that turns into a rhythm, and then people make sounds to those type of rhythms. And we in Centers showed so beautifully, we adapt to these many different expressions, an expression of movement, you know, even choreograph movement together. It like can put you on the same wavelength together with somebody. That's why, the way I grew up, and we talking about the way we danced and stuff, and the disco record being a half hour, and then you slow dance after that for 10 minutes. I mean, that kind of connection, how easy it was for somebody just to relax with you for almost a half hour, having fun with you, feeling your vibes and your energy. Do you know what all that had created just because you asked somebody to dance back in the 70s? And the songs being so long and then always a lot of times followed by a slow song so people get catch a breath. Some of them songs was 15, 18 minutes long, and then 10 minutes of slow dancing. And the music, again, getting back what I was talking about earlier, the music is all love music, you know? Just love music, that love vibration. Like why did like the great what they call it, great generation, so much love music came from them, music from the heart. Probably even some of the blues and jazz too, given to the world. I mean, one thing I do, I think is a great practice, and I probably listen too loud, but listen to a record every day. I just bought shit, Nick Taylor. If you hear this, I just bought I had the original Sugar Hill, the original. The original was just it was instrumental on one side and a Rapper's Delight on the other side. And then maybe my dad had it. I don't know if I had it, but for sure my dad had it. I was able to tape off of it. Was the original Sugar Hill's first album with Jump on it. And then it's got the first rap battle. Um, 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 the Furious Five against the Sugar Hill Gang. You know, when they break it down, it goes Sugar Hill. You know, that's the first rap battle. You know, when they break that it breaks down to that, and they all hear that Sugar Hill. Oh man, I just got one. It's by Uptown All Stars, I think it's called. But it like, now one of my favorite rappers is Father MC. But his best rap fire comes on this it's Uptown. I think it's called the Uptown All Stars. His best rap comes on to the Uptown All Stars, I'm pretty sure. So I had never heard it before. And so it was like, oh, and it's got all of them. Because remember, Father MC, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, they was all with Uptown. Trying to think. Well, of course, Heavy D, but oh, I'll Be Sure too. They was all with Uptown and Biggie. Apparently Biggie, which I learned in the documentary too. So, but Biggie's not in it, but they it's a nice little cut. I was quite caught by surprise. So, well, I'm gonna sign off. Again, I'll come on Sunday evening sometime. If you want to do the full moon thing with me, you know how I go down. Uh, you know, Thank you very much for hanging in here with me. Again, the sports thing is this is the time of year where they do tell everything. I mean, they have told everything. It's funny, 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 funny though. Look at one of my old videos about Obama, Michelle Obama, and I put they bring Big Mike out. I put a video out of that. But if you look back at that one, really, they let her tell his message. If you go back and look at it, they let her tell his message. She said, if you elect him president, this is what's gonna happen. It's like they have to tell you what's going on. And that's the way they told you what was going on, was through that way. They told you, they showed you that it's going on through that way. I mean, she told you, she put it out there before they did. And you may look at it as no, she was talking against it. No, she put it out there. It's gonna be like this. So I was just thinking about that video. And again, it's a thing where they want to make it you against her, the kind of deal. There it is. Mm, yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'll be back on Sunday.